Most of us grew up believing that vegetables are the healthiest foods on our plate, and in many cases they are. They're packed with vitamins, minerals, and fiber. But what if I told you that some vegetables, particularly for seniors, could quietly be putting your heart at risk? Yes, even the foods we consider healthy can sometimes work against us, especially after the age of 60 when the body becomes more sensitive to certain compounds. The truth is, not all vegetables are created equal when it comes to heart health. Some can increase inflammation, contribute to calcium buildup in the arteries, spike blood pressure, or worsen existing heart conditions. Here's something many doctors don't explain clearly enough. As we age, our digestive systems slow down. Our kidneys may not filter as efficiently, and our cardiovascular systems become more fragile. That means certain vegetables like those high in natural toxins, hidden sodium, or chemical residues can become harmful rather than helpful. And it's not your fault. These vegetables are often marketed as heart healthy. They show up in meal plans, cookbooks, and even hospital cafeterias. But what works for a healthy 30-year-old may not work for a 70-year-old managing high blood pressure, irregular heartbeat, or plaque buildup. In today's video, we're diving into the vegetables seniors should avoid that can silently contribute to heart disease. We'll explore hidden risks in common foods from nightshades like eggplants and tomatoes, to dark leafy greens that could damage your arteries, to canned veggies overloaded with sodium, and even pesticide-soaked produce that can trigger chronic inflammation. But don't worry, this isn't about creating fear. It's about giving you the facts and tools to make safer, smarter choices for your heart. And at the end, we'll share delicious, senior-friendly vegetable alternatives that truly support cardiovascular wellness. If you or someone you love is navigating heart concerns, high cholesterol, or hypertension, this video is for you. Let's begin with the first category of vegetables. You may want to think twice about starting with the often misunderstood group known as nightshades. The nightshade family includes tomatoes, eggplants, potatoes, bell peppers, and chili peppers. These are staple ingredients in many American dishes, from stews and salads to casseroles and condiments. They're colorful, full of flavor, and usually praised for their nutrients. But for many seniors, nightshades can come with some hidden risks, especially when it comes to heart health. What makes nightshades controversial? Nightshade vegetables contain a natural compound called solanine, a type of glycoalkaloid that acts as a natural pesticide for the plant. While small amounts of solanine aren't harmful to most people, it can trigger inflammation in sensitive individuals, particularly those over 60 with existing cardiovascular or autoimmune issues. Let's break that down in simple terms. Solanine may not directly cause heart disease, but it can make it worse by increasing inflammation, which is one of the underlying drivers of heart damage, artery stiffening, and plaque buildup. In fact, Dr. Stephen Gundry warns that nightshades are among the vegetables that often cause leaky gut, which can lead to widespread inflammation, including in the heart and blood vessels. Seniors with arthritis, arrhythmias, or chronic fatigue may notice their symptoms worsen after eating nightshades. Another issue? Potatoes, especially fried or processed ones like chips and French fries. While technically a vegetable, these are loaded with starch that quickly converts into sugar in the body. That sugar spike can lead to insulin resistance, which has a direct link to heart disease and clogged arteries. Plus, Many Americans top their tomatoes or potatoes with extra salt, adding to their sodium intake, a major red flag for seniors with high blood pressure. So, should all seniors avoid nightshades completely? Not necessarily. But if you have heart disease, joint pain, or digestive discomfort, it may be worth doing a 2-week trial without nightshades to see how your body responds. Keep a journal. Watch for changes in your energy levels, joint stiffness, and blood pressure. If symptoms improve, you may be part of the group that benefits from avoiding these vegetables. And remember, even if you don't cut them out entirely, limiting portion size and cooking them well, like roasting or stewing instead of eating them raw, can reduce solanine levels and make them easier on your heart and gut. Coming up next, we'll take a closer look at a group of leafy greens you probably thought were always safe, but in high amounts, they may actually be hardening your arteries. Let's explore high-oxalate greens and how they affect senior heart health. When we think of healthy greens, we often picture spinach, beet greens, Swiss chard, and collard greens. They're packed with fiber, iron, and vitamins like A and K, nutrients most seniors need more of. But there's a little-known side of these vegetables that often gets overlooked: their high oxalate content. Now, what are oxalates? Oxalates are natural compounds found in many plant foods. In small amounts, they're generally harmless. But when eaten frequently and in large quantities, they can build up in the body and bind with calcium, forming calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals don't just lead to kidney stones, they may also contribute to arterial stiffness and vascular calcification. Let's make that simple. When calcium and oxalate team up, they can harden your blood vessels over time. And hardened arteries are a major risk factor for high blood pressure, heart failure, and stroke, especially in older adults whose bodies are less efficient at clearing excess minerals. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that arterial calcification, essentially hardening of the arteries, is a strong predictor of future heart attacks and cardiovascular death, particularly in people over 60. What's more surprising is that oxalate buildup has been linked to this very problem, especially in seniors with reduced kidney function. Spinach is one of the biggest culprits. In fact, just 1 cup of cooked spinach contains over 600 milligrams of oxalates. That's more than double the amount found in most other greens. Beet greens and Swiss chard are also near the top of the list. Now, this doesn't mean you have to eliminate all leafy greens from your plate. The key is to be smart about it. Rotate your greens. Include low-oxalate options like kale, romaine lettuce, arugula, and bok choy, which are much gentler on the kidneys and arteries. Cooking can also help. Boiling high-oxalate vegetables and discarding the water can reduce oxalate content by up to 50%. So if you love spinach, enjoy it in moderation and always cook it thoroughly instead of eating it raw in large salads. One more tip: stay hydrated. Water helps flush oxalates out of your system and supports kidney health, both of which are essential for keeping your arteries clear and your heart strong. Coming up next, we'll dive into a sneaky heart hazard hiding in plain sight, not in the vegetables themselves, but in how they're preserved. Let's talk about canned and pickled veggies and the dangerous sodium levels they often contain. Many seniors reach for canned or pickled vegetables because they're convenient, affordable, and have a long shelf life. And let's be honest, opening a can of green beans or scooping out some pickled beets is a lot easier than cooking from scratch. Especially when you're cooking for one or managing mobility issues. But here's the concern. Most canned and pickled vegetables come loaded with hidden sodium, sometimes more than an entire fast food meal. And that's dangerous territory for anyone with high blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney problems. Let's break it down. Sodium or salt is added to canned vegetables to preserve them and extend their shelf life. It also enhances flavor. But too much sodium causes your body to hold on to excess water, which increases blood volume and pressure on the arteries. This puts extra strain on your heart and can worsen conditions like congestive heart failure, atrial fibrillation, and chronic hypertension. According to the American Heart Association, adults should ideally limit sodium to 1,500 milligrams per day, especially if they're over 60 or have heart disease. But just 1 cup of canned peas can contain nearly 400 milligrams of sodium. A small serving of pickled cucumbers? Often over 1,000 milligrams, depending on the brand and brine. Even vegetables marketed as healthy, like canned mixed vegetables or pickled beets, often come with high salt content hidden in the fine print. And unlike table salt, which you can control, the sodium in canned goods is already soaked in, making it harder to manage. So what can seniors do? Start by reading the labels. Look for low sodium or no salt added on canned vegetable packaging. Some brands offer versions with less than 100 milligrams of sodium per serving, a much better option for heart health. Rinse your canned vegetables. Studies show that draining and rinsing canned vegetables under water can reduce sodium content by up to 40%. It's a simple habit that can make a big difference. Avoid heavily pickled items. While a slice or two of pickle might not hurt occasionally, eating pickled vegetables daily like sauerkraut, pickled okra, or pickled green beans can push your sodium levels well over the safe limit. And here's something most people don't realize. High sodium doesn't just affect your blood pressure. It also damages the lining of your blood vessels over time, making them less flexible and more prone to plaque buildup, a direct risk factor for heart attacks and strokes. Coming next, we'll explore a more silent threat. Vegetables grown with heavy pesticide exposure, which studies now link to chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and cardiovascular disease in older adults. Are you ready? Let's uncover the truth about pesticide-soaked vegetables and how they may be affecting your heart. Most people wash their vegetables before eating, but what if a simple rinse isn't enough? The vegetables in your kitchen might look fresh and healthy, but underneath that bright color and crisp texture could be toxic pesticide residues that your heart and body quietly struggle to handle over time. Pesticides are chemicals used to protect crops from insects, weeds, and disease. While they help farmers grow larger, more appealing vegetables, they often leave behind harmful residues, especially on thin-skinned or leafy vegetables like spinach, kale, bell peppers, green beans, and celery. Now here's the issue. Even small amounts of pesticide residue, consumed regularly, can contribute to chronic inflammation, oxidative stress, and hormone disruption, all of which are linked to cardiovascular disease, particularly in older adults. A study published in JAMA Internal Medicine found that people who consumed high pesticide residue produce had a significantly higher risk of cardiovascular problems, including stroke and coronary artery disease. This risk was even greater in people over 60, whose detox systems, like the liver and kidneys, tend to be less efficient with age. Even more concerning, many of these chemicals are classified as endocrine disruptors, meaning they interfere with the body's hormonal balance, including insulin regulation, blood pressure control, and cholesterol metabolism. For seniors, that's a recipe for increased heart strain. Let's talk about some of the top offenders. Each year, the Environmental Working Group releases the Dirty Dozen, list a ranking of the 12 fruits and vegetables most contaminated with pesticides. Many of the vegetables on that list include spinach, kale, green beans, celery, bell peppers, among others. Unfortunately, these are vegetables commonly recommended in senior diets, which makes awareness of all the vegetables more important. So what can you do? Whenever possible, choose organic versions of the most pesticide-prone vegetables. Organic farming restricts the use of synthetic pesticides, offering a safer choice for your heart and your overall health. Use a produce wash or soak your vegetables in a vinegar water solution to help break down surface chemicals. While this won't eliminate all pesticides, it reduces your exposure significantly. If organic options aren't affordable or available, focus on peeling or cooking certain vegetables, which can reduce residue. And remember, you don't need to eliminate these vegetables, but being selective and cautious with sourcing and preparation can protect your heart in the long run. Next, we'll shift gears from risk to solutions. What should seniors eat instead? Which vegetables are heart protective, low risk, and perfect for aging bodies? Are enjoying this video? Let me know in the comments. Let's discover the best, safer alternatives and heart-healthy vegetable choices that nourish, not stress, your cardiovascular system. Now that we've covered the vegetables seniors should be cautious with, let's shift to something empowering. What you can eat for a strong, healthy heart. The good news is that there are plenty of vegetables that are not only safe for seniors, but are also packed with nutrients that actively protect your heart, support healthy blood pressure, and reduce inflammation. Let's explore a few standout heart-friendly vegetables and why they deserve a regular spot on your plate. 1. Broccoli. Broccoli is a low-oxalate cruciferous vegetable rich in fiber, antioxidants, and vitamin K, which helps support healthy blood clotting. It also contains sulforaphane, a natural compound that has been shown in research to reduce arterial inflammation and support detoxification. It's easy to steam, roast, or add to soups, and its mild flavor makes it easy to digest. 2. Carrots. Carrots are naturally sweet, low in sodium, and rich in beta-carotene, which helps reduce oxidative stress on the heart. They also help with cholesterol balance. A Harvard study found that people who ate more orange and yellow vegetables, like carrots, had lower rates of coronary heart disease. They're delicious raw, steamed, or gently sautéed in olive oil. 3. Arugula and romaine lettuce. These leafy greens are low in oxalates and full of nitrates, which help relax blood vessels and lower blood pressure. A huge benefit for seniors with hypertension. Unlike spinach or kale, these greens are gentler on the kidneys and arteries and make an excellent base for heart-healthy salads. 4. Zucchini. This mild, low-oxalate vegetable is easy to digest, hydrating, and rich in potassium, a mineral that helps balance sodium levels and control blood pressure. Zucchini is great steamed, grilled, or spiralized as a healthy pasta substitute. 5. Cauliflower. Another cruciferous veggie. Cauliflower is versatile and full of compounds that support detox pathways and fight inflammation. It's especially beneficial when replacing starchy vegetables like white potatoes. Try it mashed, roasted, or in soups. 6. Sweet potatoes. In moderation, unlike regular potatoes, sweet potatoes are lower in the glycemic index and contain fiber, potassium, and magnesium, all important for maintaining a steady heart rhythm and supporting vascular health. They should be eaten in moderation and preferably baked, not fried. Tips to maximize heart health with veggies. Steam or roast instead of frying it retains nutrients without adding harmful fats. Use heart-healthy oils like olive oil instead of butter or margarine. Season with herbs and spices instead of salt to keep blood pressure in check. Eat the rainbow. Different colors bring different antioxidants and benefits. Remember, the goal isn't to follow a strict diet that removes everything you love. It's about balance, awareness, and gentle improvements over time. Even small changes like swapping canned green beans for fresh broccoli or using arugula instead of spinach can make a big difference in your heart's long-term health. Let's take a moment to reflect. You've just learned something many doctors don't explain clearly enough, that not all vegetables are harmless, especially when it comes to senior heart health. From inflammatory nightshades to high-oxalate greens to sodium-loaded canned foods and pesticide-covered, produce these hidden dangers can quietly strain your heart over time. But you're not powerless. You've also learned that with just a few simple changes like choosing low-oxalate greens, switching to low-sodium canned goods, or opting for organic when it matters most, you can take real, meaningful steps toward protecting your heart. And it's never too late to start. Whether you're managing high blood pressure, recovering from a heart event, or simply trying to feel more energetic and in control of your health, these small shifts in your vegetable choices can have a big impact. Remember, you don't need a perfect diet, just a more informed one. Here at Seniors Vitality Hub, we're all about empowering you with clear, science-backed information that supports real change, without fear, confusion, or overwhelm. You deserve to know what's really going into your body and how it affects you. And we're here to help every step of the way. If you found this video helpful, please consider doing 3 simple things. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on the next health-saving video. Like this video to let us know you care about your heart health. And share it with someone you love, because the right information at the right time can make all the difference. Your heart has carried you through so much. Let's give it the care it truly deserves. Until next time, stay well, stay strong, and stay informed right here on Seniors Vitality Hub. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.